I'll have to be honest with you. First thing I'm going to mention right up front is it's free. I like the service when it's free because, you know, you can tie up a lot of money in different services, and from experience I found out that sometimes you can pay a lot of money and you may not be getting that much out of it.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. It's March 31st, 2014. I'm Logan Burgess. To my right here is Brock Shimano to help break down the numbers from today's planted acreage and quarterly grain stock report. Let's jump into the quotes though first, see where the grain settled out today. As you can see here, some strength on the board looking at old crop. Old crop corn up 9 3/4. Old crop beans picking up 25 1/4. Chicago wheat was up 2. Kansas City wheat up just half a penny. The big focus of today's action, Brock, surrounded the planted acreage numbers. Take us through what we saw there today from the USDA.
That's right, Logan. We did get a couple of big reports out here this morning. If we take a look at this table here, you can see that most of these numbers were right in line with what analysts were expecting. Starting with wheat, we came in right in line with analyst expectations there. Soybeans just a bit above analyst expectations there, so a little bit of a bearish tone on the new crop contract there. For corn, we came in well below what analysts were expecting by about 1 million acres planted to corn, so we did see a little bit of a bullish sentiment taking over in the corn contracts. Yep. But I think a lot of what was driving the corn contracts were quarterly grain stocks as well.
Yeah, Brock, you know, if we kind of take a look though at acreage here over the last couple of years, today's report was really in line with trade expectations in that we're going to see kind of a change here from what we've become used to. Lighter corn acres here this year, larger soybean acres, as you can see from this chart detailing acres here for corn, soybeans, and wheat. A little bit of a deviation from what, as I said, we've really seen since about 2008. Biggest states where we saw acreage declines for corn was in North Dakota, off 900,000 acres there, Nebraska down 550,000 acres, and South Dakota off 400,000 acres there. So a lot of corn acres being lost in the Dakotas. If we see where the bean acres were really picked up, North Dakota adding 1 million acres of soybeans compared to last year, Minnesota up 700,000, and Nebraska up 600,000. So similar situation there. It seems like in the eastern Corn Belt things remained relatively unchanged from last year. The big changes though, as I said, coming from the Dakotas and Minnesota. Brock, as you mentioned a little bit ago, we did get the big quarterly grain stocks report today. That was really the driver when we're looking at the May old crop contracts. What did we see there, and kind of where was that strength coming from?
You know, I think the only real surprise coming out of the quarterly grain stocks here, if you take a look at the table, was the corn quarterly grain stocks came in about 100 million bushels below what analysts were expecting. You know, wheat was right on par with expectations, and so was soybeans as well. So really the highlight in the quarterly grain stocks was that corn number, and I think a lot of that extra disappearance that we saw was either coming from the export sales that we've seen be at a very torrid pace over the last month and a half, or there was some talk coming across the news wires that maybe the harvest that we had last year wasn't as big as what analysts were actually expecting. So we could have seen some of the overall supply being taken away a little bit too, but I think really that was what gave corn the bullish sentiment today, was the quarterly grain stocks that came in about 100 million bushels below what was expected. Yeah,
let's quickly take a look here at kind of the chart landscape here as we look at the new crop contracts, because you know today we did see a lot of the market moves happening on the old crop, but really this report kind of sets the tone for those new crop contracts. As I said here, let's take a look at a daily candlestick chart of the December 14 corn contract. You can see that we printed a very wide range in today's action, but with the close today, we got above that area of 494, which kind of acted as resistance several weeks ago. This opens the door to another leg higher, in my opinion, for the corn market. Like I said, lighter, or as you said, Brock, lighter acreage than analysts were expecting, and there's still a lot of questions surrounding the ability of this corn crop to get in the ground in a timely manner. We could see a weather premium get added to this new crop contract as we have planting delays. From talking to a lot of producers out there, conditions are really not shaping up yet here to get the corn crop in a timely manner. As I said, that's just one thing that could add to a little bit of today's bullish sentiment just based on the acreage numbers the USDA got.
You know, it seems like those acreage numbers that you did report, a lot of it was concentrated in the north and west part of the Corn Belt. You know, some of those areas that have experienced an extremely cold winter, a lot of precipitation on the ground still, so we're going to have to watch those areas to see if they do switch over to soybeans. Let's take a look at the soybean contract here on the new crop. You can see that last candle, we did print a wide range just like we did in corn. We found a little bit of support around that 1168 area that has held support report several times over the last month or so. But we did end up rallying a little bit higher, and I think that was pulled higher by what was going on in the old crop contract, up about 25 cents today. But ultimately, we did end up just a little bit lower. I think a lot of the pressure was from larger than anticipated acres being reported here in the prospective planning report this morning.
You know, now that we do have this report here behind us, Brock, kind of moving forward now, not today, but next Monday, we're going to start getting crop condition and progress ratings each day for corn and soybeans. So that's going to be a very large focus for the corn and soybean market. If you want live quotes in the cab of the tractor this year as you're getting the crop planted, visit us over at grainhedge.com. We have a great mobile app that's available right now on the iPhone, Android, iPad, or tablet. You can take a no-obligation 2-week trial of it there. And as I said, have the ability to view live quotes in the cab, place orders, or monitor hedge positions. So give us a call if you have questions about that, or visit us online at grainhedge.com. Thanks a lot for joining us here for Monday to break down the report. We'll see you back here tomorrow.